Great, so we're here with Ken Fong. Thanks so much for coming with us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Matt.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you.
And we've got a new issue of APAO magazine out in which Dr. Fong contributed, and it was all about recipes for success in the anterior segment. And as I'm reading here, Dr. Fong, we have a headline that says, "That doesn't belong in the pie, removing IOFBs." And basically, this was a complex case involving a 42-year-old male who had a metal foreign body enter his right eye and lodge into his inferior retina. Tell me more about this case and what was the recipe for success there?
Well, Matt, first of all, you can call me Ken. We can keep it informal.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, it's occupational eye injuries are very common.
Yeah.
Especially in Malaysia because we have a lot of factories and stuff. And a lot of the time, these workers don't wear protective eyewear.
Yeah.
Or they may be given them or they take it off because it's hot or too troublesome.
Okay.
So this was a worker who was working, hammering metal, and the metal foreign body entered his eye.
Yeah.
In a sense, you might think it's a straightforward case of, it's just another foreign body. But what was interesting about this case, it went straight through his cornea, through his lens, and embedded all the way in the back of his eye.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was so I had to do a 2-stage operation to fix it basically. The first step is to really get the foreign body out because you don't want infection and stuff like that. I did laser around the site of the injury. I put silicone oil in, and then I came back in 3 months later to remove the silicone oil and do his cataract operation. Many doctors would feel that they want to address the cataract at the same time and try and fix everything at the same time. But I feel that if you stage the operation, take your time, the outcomes are better. Yeah.
Interesting. So this was kind of, almost sounds like a war injury, the fact that it was penetrating so deeply back in there.
Yes, yeah, it is.
When this kind of thing happens in ophthalmology, do you often have to be creative to cook up the solution?
Yeah, you have to. It's not a common thing, but you have, like all good chefs, you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
You have to have the ingredients in your OR. So I had to have my foreign body forceps, I needed a foreign body magnet, I needed the nurses to be aware of how to manage the case, and I needed to be creative. You can't do a standard operation when you're dealing with a foreign body. So like, for example, I had to enlarge the spiral wound to fit the size of the foreign body. And so it's a lot of thinking on the spot.
I wonder if that sort of thing sometimes gives birth to innovation, because you figure there's a lot of different small tools in ophthalmology, which sometimes are named after different doctors for tweaking it this way and that way. But, perhaps these times where it seems very unfortunate for the patient can lead to innovations for the entire field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for example, I just came back from a conference in India. We met in India. And a lot of the companies are very innovative. They have new instruments for removing foreign bodies. So they develop their own instruments that are suitable to remove large pellets because they have a lot of pellet injuries. The war in Kashmir.
Right.
So a lot of patients have shotgun pellets in their eye.
Wow.
And these are little round metal pellets which are very difficult to grasp with normal forceps.
Is that right?
So we have to design our own special forceps to take them out.
Interesting. Well, I mean, and when that happens, is it, I was always just curious, because it seems like there's so many different iterations of ophthalmic tools. When does that need usually arise for a new tool? I mean, is it with regards to trauma or other types of work?
It's basically from daily practice.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same operation day in, day out, and you find that eye speculum that doesn't fit an Asian eye, and so on, you have to go ahead and design a new one.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to cook something up good.
Yeah, exactly. And thankfully, there are a lot of companies who are happy to work with us to design new instruments and things like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And in terms of doing that, so sometimes the process would be finding a need, realizing that a new instrument might be needed, and then a manufacturer could get involved to roll that out.
Yeah. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
It's a two-way thing, and the industry are very closely in touch with us, and it's great. I mean, the companies that engage with the doctors meaningfully, they are the ones that develop better products that will do well in the market.
Interesting.
Yeah. Whereas companies that design something and just expect a doctor to take it up and learn their way, I don't think they'll be able to succeed so well.
And for those smaller instrumentations, are they always required to get certain regulatory approval, or is it a little easier when you're dealing with just metal instruments?
I'm not aware of all these regulations. I think every country has their own rules on that, but instruments are quite straightforward because they are inert objects.
Interesting. Well, we started talking about an unfortunate case of a patient, a foreign body, and here we've ended up at, cooking up a great surgical armamentarium and how that will continue to innovate in ophthalmology. So Ken, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thanks,
and
Matt.
Being in our
pleasure.
master chef's kitchen, so to speak.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All the best.